Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm really doing just like a natural glowy look for the summer. This is always my go-to. I just feel like my skin works a lot better when I have a more natural makeup routine. As for skin prep, I know it's been really popular lately to like redo your skincare and like prep your face properly before your makeup. I have really sensitive skin. I can't be messing with it that much. So literally I did my skincare this morning, and then all I do for like primer or anything is this. It's just the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I feel like it preps my face really well, so that's just what I do. This makeup product I've been loving so much lately. I'm definitely more like a medium coverage girly, and this is absolutely perfect. I'm so excited. I'm going back to New York at the end of August. I go to college there, and I honestly was about to not go back. I had a really rough freshman year, but I ended up deciding that I wanted to go back, so I'm really excited for that. I absolutely love New York. Like, even though I had a really rough freshman year, like it had nothing to do with the actual state. I haven't been using a beauty blender at all anymore. I feel like a lot of people don't anymore, but I always see makeup artists still using them, which makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. I just feel like I don't even need it anymore. For concealer, I'm going to be using this NYX one. I haven't used this in a while. It's a concealer serum, so it's really light. And then for the brush, I'm using the Kosas multitasking eye brush. I just washed all my makeup brushes, so I'm really excited right now for my makeup. I think that anytime makeup is a little bit like too much coverage, I start to look really scary. And it's definitely because I have like a really round face shape. So when you start putting like all these harsh things on like a round face shape, it just looks like a clown. I look like a clown when I do it. I feel like I have seen a difference lately when I have been putting like just little bits of concealer like on my smile lines, because I smile a lot and my cheeks are a little bit chubby, so they're pretty bad. And then also like on my chin, and then like the tiniest bit on my forehead. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. I'm gonna go on with blush. Say Beauty is always my go-to for blush. I am a Say Beauty lover. I love everything about that brand, honestly. Specifically the owner, Lainey. Like, she's my role model with everything in life. My favorite part about all of their products is just how buildable they are. I feel like there's some days where I need more blush and some days I need less, so I hate the ones that are like super pigmented and just like shoot you with color basically. The other thing about the blush especially that I really like is that I can like put all my powder and set my face and everything, and if I need to like put it on top to touch it up like later on in the day, you totally can. It doesn't ruin your makeup. For bronzer, my favorite part, I can't find my Patrick Ta one, so I'm using the e.l.f. one. This one's super good. I've used a lot of different bronzers and contours and everything. This one is actually really good, especially for e.l.f. And then this is the brush I'm using. I don't know when or from where I got this, but I'm using it today. I just feel like it could be good. I'm scared right now, but I feel like I'm hitting myself. I don't know if I can even continue this. I think this brush might be for foundation. I'm not gonna lie. I'm switching it. I love Sigma Beauty brushes. This is the one I'm using today. It's a curved kabuki brush. I love the name kabuki. I remember that was like one of the first like types of brush names that I ever heard from my mom, and it's just such a silly word to say. I have like a list of my favorite words, and that's definitely needs to go on it. I'm gonna add it. Okay, I love this bronzer so far. I also bronze like my forehead, but I have to do that like really lightly because it gets my hair so quickly. I'm like, I put too much, I feel like. Actually, that was kind of perfect. I love that. I feel like naturally my face is like pretty pigmented, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, like, because I have freckles and I usually have like more pinkish red skin. I don't today for some reason. I look really pale, so like adding bronzer is an absolute must for me, or else I don't feel like myself. So next I'm gonna go super lightly with the powder. Of course, I'm using the Huda Beauty powder. She's my ride or die. I don't like any other powder, literally. I've tried so many others and just none of them do the magic that this one does. I love powder. I will say I have not tried the Charlotte Tilbury one. I feel like everyone is always going on and on about that one, but like my skin picks up on powder so easily in like the worst possible way, so I don't love any like, what is it, pressed powders. Like I don't like those, but it's definitely just like user error. Like I just am bad at makeup. Next up, this is literally my favorite palette ever to exist. I actually lost the highlighter out of it, and I'm so upset about that, but the bronzer is still so good. I don't use the blush because it's just like not a shade I would usually go for. This bronzer though is my absolute favorite. It's Benefit. It's the Hoola bronzer. When I first got into makeup, I kept mixing up Huda Beauty like the powder and the Hoola bronzer, and I always thought everyone was just like talking about the same thing until I like got both, and I was like, oh, and I forgot to show you guys the brush I'm using is It Cosmetics. I absolutely love this brush. This is my favorite brush ever. With the smaller side, I'm just gonna do like a tiny bit of bronzer on my nose. I used to never do this, but because I put like the fake freckles on now, I feel like I have to have a little bit more color. I just like go right above the tip of my nose, right under, and then just right down the middle. Like, I'm not specific. And then sometimes if I'm feeling fancy, I'll like go up the nose bridge, you know. I totally forgot to bake my under eyes. I just put some of the powder like on here. I tap it on there, and then I just press it like twice. I don't really like blend it into it or anything, which is probably an issue, but that's just how I do it. And I just like tap it in. I don't actually let it set. I feel like when I let it set, it honestly looks worse. So I just like take some and I blend it in right away. And I just like lightly put the excess around my mouth and just like my smile lines again, of course. And I love it. I think that it makes a really big difference if you use one of these powder puffs. The one I'm using is from Kosas, and as long as you go like really light with it, it just makes such a big difference. And that's why I feel like I don't need like a beauty blender anymore. And then I do like the tiniest bit on my forehead. I feel like if I go even just a little bit too much of powder on my forehead, then I look like really cakey. Okay, now for the powder blush, because I feel like, you know, it's pretty covered now, it's kind of gone. I use this Kosas one. It's their Baked Blush, and it's in the shade Swoon. It honestly pairs so well with the Say liquid blush. I haven't found any other shade that I like that's just like the Say liquid one, but this one, it fits so perfectly. And I always don't put on enough blush, so I'm just putting on a ton right now, honestly. And I almost forgot, I've been putting a little bit of bronzer right above my eyebrows for more of like a summery look, and I love it. For the highlighter, she's a little banged up, but I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and this is the shade Sun Idol. I love using this brush also for this. This is the Kosas Face Detailer, and I feel like it's just like the perfect amount of fluffy to like make the highlighter not look like a streak. And I just put that top of my cheeks, tip of my nose, a tiny bit right there, and then really quickly just the top of my nose, because I'm still gonna put the fake freckles, so I don't want too much there. And then I'm just gonna set my face real quick and then finish the rest of it. Before I do the fake freckles and my lips and everything, I'm gonna do my mascara. I'm sure you guys have heard of this eyelash curler. It's from Shiseido. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And I kind of just like line up the back of it and then go, and if it hurts at all, I just move it. And I just kind of pulse it, and then sometimes I will hold it down, but not for more than like 10 seconds. I mean, you can see the difference. My lashes aren't very long, but they're very straight. There's when I did it, and then, you know, obviously that side I did. I swear this eye's eyelashes are so much worse. We're just gonna ignore them because they don't behave. For my mascara, I'm gonna use this L'Oreal one. It's the Telescopic Lift, and I always have to use waterproof. There's no way I can ever do a non-waterproof one. It just doesn't stay on my eyes, especially because I have really straight eyelashes. I can't have something weighing them down. I need something that will just like stay. And then as that dries, I'm gonna do my lips. I don't know where the cap is, but I'm using this NYX lip liner. It says it's plumping, but I've honestly never felt anything, and I don't overline. I kind of just go along my natural lip line, and I always like do more in the center, and I never drag it all the way into my corners, because every time I do that, it like goes out the edges and it looks really bad. And then on top of that, lately I've been using this Kosas lip oil. This is her. She's honestly really matte compared to what I usually do. Is like a just like insane lip. This one I feel like is really just natural for me. Like, I don't know, I feel like the color is so similar to my natural lips. For like the tips of my lashes, I always use this mascara. It's so good. It's literally completely all rubbed off, but it's the telescopic mascara, and because it's just so lengthening. And then I really need to clean it up. So before I clean it up, I go in. This is my favorite thing ever. It's this Urban Decay eyeshadow stick, and it's in the shade Top It Off, and I just use it in my inner corners and then sometimes like as highlighter. It is just so freaking good. I never like eyeshadow sticks, but this highlighter is just such a good shade and tone. I just love it. And then really quick, I'm just gonna do my freckles. This is the one that I use. It's the only one I've ever tried, and I love it, so I just keep using it. And you just stamp it a few times, and it's really easy. I kind of just go wherever most of my natural freckles are to make sure I blend it out, and I feel like it just adds the color that I feel like I'm always missing in the middle of my face. I really stick to just like the center of my face because that's where most of my freckles are anyways, and I try not to make it super even, but I feel like I accidentally always do. yeah, that's really it. And then for my eyebrows, I usually go in with the spoolie first because I only use eyebrow gel. The trick to not getting it to flake is literally to just not use a lot of product at all. Like, you really should not be using a lot. I don't even know where mine is right now, so I'm just not gonna use any. But I'll go, like, say this is a spoolie with the product on it, I'll start in the middle and do the ends, and then I'll do the other side with the same exact spoolie, and then I'll take a separate spoolie and go through and like shape it, like, and that always holds it. Depending on the brand, it holds it the whole day. Yeah, so this is basically just the final look. This is just like my casual makeup, just like every day, you know. If I do want to do my makeup when I go out and stuff, this is what I'll do. Yeah, this is like my favorite new lip combo too, so I'm happy I got to show that. This is like my first actual makeup video on YouTube. Yeah, I'll definitely be making more get ready with me's and just makeup videos in general, and I definitely want to prioritize YouTube from now on, so don't forget to subscribe. I'll be posting more on here. I love you guys. Goodbye.